The initiative was born within a context, that of the Italian transport sector, which is experiencing three important transitions. First and foremost, it is evident that we are immersed in a severe crisis within the sector, and one of the more clear markers is certainly the high price of fuel. An unequivocal cost shock, which when translated in real terms means prices soaring by more than 30% in 2 years. To these skyrocketing costs, we must also add high market fragmentation. In Italy, we have 91,000 transport companies scattered across the territory, 93% of companies with less than 10 drivers, 1.7 trucks on average per company. And finally, we must consider difficulties in truck saturation with low load field levels due to the reduction in volumes and the fragmentation of orders. The analysis of these three factors has highlighted the need to identify methods of collaboration within the supply chain that will allow us to salvage profitability and improve process efficiency of the single firm. Asset sharing is the sharing of the vehicle used by both the manufacturer and the retailer, which reduces road traffic and the impact on both the environment and the economics of the transportation, therefore creating a virtuous circle of collaborative transportation. Less trips, less trucks, economic saving, less pollution, positive green impact. A simple formula that increases in value when applied to Italy and specifically to the fast-moving consumer goods sector, where road transport dominates, representing 95% of the sector. This is an important opportunity that allows us to guarantee the reduction of empty kilometres while maximising transport productivity, the daily billing of vehicle, and finally, the improved absorption of fixed costs and the reduction in the bearing of overall costs. To these ends, it is necessary to unite inbound and outbound volumes in order to create the critical mass required to guarantee an efficient distribution. Our objective is to enter into a virtuous network, spreading the advantages to all who participate. What are the key elements of the project? Win-win strategy. The benefits generated must be to the advantage of all. Firstly, there is the advantage for the transporter, who maximizes the productivity of the vehicles. Secondly, there is the advantage to the retailer and the manufacturer, who both benefit from tariffs that reflect the increased absorption of fixed costs from the transporter. These economic benefits go on to create a virtuous circle, and they bring a reduction in road traffic and consequently a reduction in the global emissions of CO2. To be able to obtain the advantages of asset sharing, some base conditions are required. We must learn to identify and manage the distributive in and out flow in symbiosis from where do my goods depart and what route do they follow? Who are our business partners? Is there a synergy that I can exploit? We must then confirm the compatibility between different vehicles and the type of goods transported, establish and fine-tune the timing of pickup and delivery. And above all, there are organisational aspects and requisites that involve each company's approach and attitude to change. We must be open to change in the equilibrium of the distribution network. We must be willing to increase cooperation and make changes within the organisation. We must maintain an approach based on transparency and collaboration and the sharing of certain key information. We must be strongly focused on the objectives, resulting in a profound commitment throughout all levels within the organisation. We selected partners convinced of the value of collaboration. In 2011, Carrefour Italia sought a continual collaboration with their major suppliers towards the identification and management of synergic flows, ensuring the benefits of the combined effort through backhauling, front-hauling and inbound multi-picking, and the consequential division of benefits from a win-win situation within the supply chain. It is important to highlight that in order to allow the continual monitoring of the asset-sharing opportunity, the internal organisational transport structure was changed to allow the creation of a professional figure new to Carrefour Italia, who is specialised in collaborative transport. This is definitely an added advantage that also positively involved human resources. Listen to what Margherita Brasiello, collaborative transport specialist Carrefour, said about the project. Striving for efficiency, open to change, transparent interaction. These are the characteristics in the synthesis of my work within the transport division in the supply chain of Carrefour. Network study and the research of synergetic flows to develop collaboration are the steps that activate a collaborative transport flow, the success of which can only be ensured through the continued coordination of all structures involved. Our internal logistics, point-of-sale receiving structures, transporter and supplier logistics to constantly monitor the service level guaranteed within the supply chain. Currently, the project is in full operating mode with over 40 suppliers and 5 transporters. The range of case studies that we will analyse focus on experiences relevant to asset sharing within closed circuits activated during 2012 with three main partners: Gruppo Sanpellegrino, Nestlé Waters, Coca-Cola and P&G in Italy, with the latter working with Chep, a leading provider of pallet and container pooling services. For the first case study, we will analyse the involvement of Carrefour, PG and Chep Italia. Here is the virtuous circle of collaborative transport put into action. A load leaves the Carrefour depot in Santa Palomba, Rome area. The first drop-off is 30 kilometres away at the Carrefour hypermarket in Rome. The empty return is taken to the Santa Palomba depot. The repackaged pallets at the Chep depot are then delivered to the P&G depot. Finally, the finished product load from P&G is loaded and delivered to the Carrefour Santa Palomba depot. The use of the same vehicle reduced the overall cost of the supply chain by 23% and reduced CO2 emissions by 18%, reducing empty kilometres. Here, we see the collaboration between Carrefour and Gruppo Sanpellegrino, Nestlé Waters. In the third case, we see the involvement of Carrefour and Coca-Cola. The main point of strength in this project is certainly the cost reduction for all those in the supply chain. Together we save 65 tonnes of CO2 a year. Considering Carrefour's target to increase up to 10% of inbound flow managed in synergy, the total potential saving is 3,000 tonnes in the next 3 years. The project allows the transfer of benefits to the consumer. The continuous research for supply chain efficiency allowed FCPG companies and retailers to absorb raw material and service price increases without transferring these increases to the final customers. We think these are good reasons for all of us to continue this project, which is fully in line with the vision of the ECR initiative. Working together to fulfill consumer requirements in a more efficient, faster, low-cost and sustainable way.